But I have to say, at the end of this game, there was one team that's the winner, but the other team, for some reason, for the second 20 overs, didn't really seem in the contest at all. And that seems a little bit bizarre. The final margin of victory, 44 runs, 175 for 3, playing 131 for 7. But the real question we're going to have to try and answer over the next few minutes is how much of that 20 over run chase were they actually invested in getting to 176? Faf du Plessis, as usual, the standout performer, 43 of 35, and this little bit of a cameo from Kedar Jadhav in the middle, but there was nobody else who really seemed invested at trying to go for 8 or even 9 and over. It was not a mountain to climb. It was just a bit of a hill, but they decided they were going to stay on the flatland throughout. I wonder if my panel of experts agrees with me. Simon Dool, Harsha Bhogle. Was I being a little too harsh in my introduction, Harsha?
I'm trying to figure out this run chase because I don't think there was a chase. I think it was a stroll, and it was a bit like when I try to jog and I say, right, I think I'm going to jog 5 kilometers and I do 2 and come back. And I said, didn't feel like it. I just did 2. So I just likened it out. I just put out a tweet. I just likened it to their run chase to someone who spends so much time packing that they reach the station late and then they run after the train, but it's already gone.
Simon, your take on the run chase just overall?
Yeah, 31 balls between the opening combination for 24 runs. Murali Vijay, Shane Watson couldn't get going. You get off to such a slow start. There's no one after that really trying to put their foot down. I mean, I can't lay any blame or anything at Faf du Plessis' feet because he's been brilliant the first couple of games. He got another 43 today off 35. He's striking at 122. He just didn't quite find his timing tonight. But everyone else just seemed like they were just stuck in the mud and unable to move, unable to find the middle of the bat, unable to find the ability to push 1s, 2s, all of those things. It wasn't even a muddled chase. It never got to that chase. And I do tend to agree with you. I'm not sure where Chennai go from here. They laboured their way the other night against Rajasthan and then put their foot down right at the back end when it was way too late. Tonight, it just seemed like there wasn't a lot of intent. If they were bowled out in the 16th over for that score, I take that. I go as a coach, as a cricket pundit, I go, yep, fair enough. They gave it a crack. They were under the pump. They gave it a crack. They bowled out in the 16th over and they scored that same score. Put your hands up and go, gave it a go. But tonight, it just did not seem that way.
Yeah, remember at the start of the show, we told you about sides winning the toss and being almost committed to fielding first, and yet it's sides who are batting first, winning games more often than not in this tournament. You really doesn't seem to be a factor because if it is, and the bowlers are having problem gripping the ball, it doesn't matter because the run rate is 20 and over, and you could bowl with a cake of soap at that point in time. And this is a figure that we've just updated, and once again, look, no change in the story. Lost by 44 runs, and look at the required rate at the 10th over, 12.9, and it kept climbing.
Due pales before intent. You can have all the due you want, but if there was no intent in that run chase, I mean, we're searching to find meaning in this run chase only because it is Dhoni and CSK, and because Dhoni, with a mind of his own, has pulled off so much in the years gone by that when Dhoni does something, we all start to search and all start to find meaning in it. If it was some other side, would have said, hang on, what happened there? So because it's Dhoni, we're searching for it, and we're trying to say, okay, maybe he's trying to figure out, maybe he's trying to get people back in form, maybe all that. But they must try two chases in a row.
They all look rusty, Harsha, to me. They all look rusty. And look, I know everyone's had time away from cricket, and I get that. But when you've got guys who are not playing any international cricket and not playing a lot of cricket at all,
correct.
So I take Watson in that account for a start. He doesn't play any cricket. He plays, a couple of tournaments a year, so not playing competitive cricket often enough. And I know Dhoni's been out of the game for 14 months or so now as well. A little bit of rustiness there. And they lose one of their sort of stalwarts, I suppose, in Suresh Raina. They lose probably their best player, in all honesty, in Ambati Rayudu. It looks like a team that is struggling to find where they're at the moment. A good win over Mumbai in the first game, but it's gone downhill from there very quickly.
But it's
I
really
think he
about
makes a very
players.
valid point. Sorry, God. I think Dooley makes a very valid point. I've seen champions of the game. Matthew Hayden, as big a player as you get. Adam Gilchrist, as big a player as you get. In their last season, they were playing IPL to IPL, and they were looking rusty. So you can't have so many players all playing IPL to IPL. And so the reason we're saying we're not coming as hard is these are all champions. And so maybe fourth game, fifth game, sixth game, they might get their rhythm back and become big players. Shane Watson, one of the all-time IPL greats. Dhoni, one of the IPL greats. So that is why we're all thinking, oh, maybe there's something happening here. But it's never easy when you're out of the game for that long and you're over 30, 34, 35 to be able to come back strongly very quickly.
But to be fair, Harsha and Simon, there are two categories of players who haven't played the game. One is, as you said, the Watsons and the Dhonis, who are basically playing purely the IPL at the moment. The others are those who have been out of the game thanks to the situation in the world. But some of them, like Prithvi Shaw, like Rishabh Pant, they're finding their feet. They're finding it slowly, but they're finding it. We thought only the players from the CPL or from the England-Australia series would have the touch. But these guys have done it, so there's no reason why some of the Indian players like a Murali Vijay or a Kedar Jadhav shouldn't at least have shown a little more intent, if not, ability.
Yeah, some of that might be down to youth as well, youthful enthusiasm and the ability to train longer, harder, because they are young and more enthusiastically. And I'm not saying that these guys aren't training hard, because they do. I know they do. But it's just different when you get to that age. You just do not pick things up as quickly unless you've been in that firing line. And Harsha brought up a great, great memories of terrific players. Hayden, I throw one of our commentators into that, Kevin Peterson, when he'd retired from international cricket and just tried to play some domestic cricket and leagues. He found it very, very tough because you're not
Andrew
in
Simons?
the fight. Yeah, Andrew Simons. You're just not in the fight time and time again. Brendan McCullum. You're just not in that competition fight where it's international quality cricket. And that's the other thing about the IPL. It is world class. It is international quality bowlers time and time again. This is not a club league. This is the best 2020 league by far in the world. And you are coming up against world class players time and time again. And you will be found out if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, interesting example, Harsha, that Simon brought up, somebody like Brendan McCullum, because a few times I've had the pleasure of chatting with him, especially recently in the Caribbean. It's inevitable in an interview that it'll come up. Baz, didn't you feel like picking up the bat and going out there? He said, no, mate, golf clubs are fine with me. I know when it's time. I know the difference between being out there and match fit and ready and being able to deliver and when I can't.
If you notice, when did Brendan McCullum quit the game? He quit the game in the middle of a small T10 league somewhere. I think he just heard the voice inside saying it's not happening for you anymore. So I'm not saying this is what is happening to CSK just yet, because there's 11 games to go. And we've seen what Shane Watson can do in the past, 2 IPLs in a row. He's almost won them both finals. He won them one, almost won them another. Dhoni last year was magnificent in the IPL, but that was 14, 15 months ago. So if you're 23, 24, 27, 28, 30, you can do that. It gets tougher. So what I'm surprised by is something that I was told many, many years ago by Keith Stackpole. He said the champion players go up the order, not down. And I just thought Dhoni might say, I need as much cricket behind me as possible. Let me go 4. I might lose 1 game. I might lose 2 games. I'll have 60 balls behind me by the end. So let's see. This is CSK, the champion side we're talking about. So we'll wait and see.